Today on Nexus Kingdom, we're going to be talking about some really weird powers. One of my favorite shows of all time is My Hero Academia. I mean, I wasn't really too into anime beforehand, but then my wife got me into it, and oh my goodness, it is an incredible show. One of the things I really love about My Hero Academia is how they handle the really weird powers. Of course, they have their very generic powers such as super strength and all that stuff, being able to track really well. You know, just name a superpower you've seen in a movie lately, they probably have it in My Hero Academia. But what they also have is really weird powers, things that if someone just said, hey, my power is this, you'd be like, well, how can you be a hero with that? And yet they make heroes out of these really weird power sets. I was online the other day and I was wondering, hey, can I make a really cool superhero out of a really weird power set? So I thought about it, I randomly generated some superpowers, and you know, I think I have like 3 really cool ideas based on powers that don't seem that cool at first. One of the first power sets I came by that's pretty unique is the ability to mimic a creature's sound. And I'm like, well, it's kind of like Beast Boy from Teen Titans, only not as cool. Well, how can I make that cool? Well, first thing you need to do, you gotta train your body to the peak of human perfection. And then the technology in My Hero Academia is pretty good, so you just make yourself some retractable claws. And you gotta make them out of a very high durable steel, possibly even like a titanium alloy. And then you just basically win the fight from intimidation. You know, yeah, of course you train yourself and you're strong and all that stuff. So you basically take people down like Batman, but you have this fear factor. I mean, how scary would it be a villain goes down an alleyway and then all of a sudden you hear the roar of a gorilla, the roar of a tiger, or you hear the rattling of a snake and you're just like, nope, I quit. So yeah, that's one really kind of lame superpower that you could make awesome. The second superpower I came by was the ability to move your arms really fast, just your arms. And you're like, well, why just your arms? Well, that's pretty lame at first, right? Yeah, you just move your arms really fast, can't run really fast like super speed like Flash. So what's the point of just your arms? Well, here's the thing. You could punch so hard and so fast that you could break down your enemy's defenses very quickly. There's actually a fight in My Hero Academia between the #1 hero, whose name is All Might, versus a creature who has like super absorption abilities. And yet All Might was punching so hard and so fast, he was able to break through that creature's ability to absorb punches to where he couldn't regenerate fast enough. And I'm just like, yeah, that would be awesome. The other cool thing is, what if you had a katana? You could make slashes so fast that no one could even see him. And you see that in movies all the time where it's like the ninja's just like, oh yeah, and yet you don't see what he cuts. You could literally do that with how fast your arms could move. So yeah, another pretty lame superpower, you turn it into an incredible hero. The last superpower that I thought of, though, was the ability to generate a lot of electricity. And you're like, come on, Tyler. People do that before. Haven't you seen Static Shock or Black Lightning or Storm or played the Infamous series? Because Cole McGrath has that lightning set. And I'm like, no, that's not what I mean. You can't shoot electricity out of you. You can just generate a lot of electricity and have it like basically at the palm of your hand, kind of like you know those like little electric prank buttons where you have to like click it and then the electricity gets distributed? Well, like if you hold it down, the electricity doesn't shoot out of those like joke pens or whatever. It just gets transferred to the next thing that it's touching, the next conductive element, which generally is our skin. So what if that was your superpower? You could tase people. Again, it's like, that is so lame. You can't shoot lightning or do anything cool with lightning. Really? Well, picture this. You're fighting a villain, and they throw a punch at you. You then grab their exposed skin and tase them to such a high degree that they fall over because they can't even control their own muscles. You just subdued a villain larger than yourself without even ever having to throw a punch. Yeah, long range you wouldn't be as good, but you know what? Through training and all that stuff, you could be one of the greatest close combat superheroes ever. So why am I talking about really weird superpowers and how it can be a really cool hero? Well, I feel like it relates to a lot of us in life, you know? We're not always born with the perfect attributes that society has deemed glory. You know, not all guys are 6'2" or 6'4". Not all guys are very strong or ruggedly built or have a full head of hair sometimes. Like, there's always something that we can find about ourselves that we beat ourselves down. We always look at our inferior powers and we don't see the hero that lies within. When in fact, anyone can be a hero these days. Sure, we may not be a superhero, but we can be a hero to ourselves. We can turn ourselves into the ultimate abilities, the ultimate me. I can turn myself into the ultimate Tyler. And you know, it does take a lot of work. It takes help from various sources. And yet, it's possible. We see it time and time again. It's possible. If you're willing to put in the training and the work, you too can be a superhero. And that's what I think a lot of the messages you see in superhero films these days, especially Into the Spider-Verse. When he says anyone can wear the mask, sure, in the real world, no one can be Spider-Man, but anyone can become the hero that is within themselves. Well, I hope you'd enjoyed the video. Yeah, it was kind of a short one today, but you know what? I really want to talk about superheroes and what they truly mean to us. They're not just for entertainment. They truly inspire us to be our ultimate hero. You know, we may not always save a life or stop a robber or anything like that, but we can save ourselves from depression. We can save ourselves from loneliness and all that stuff by reaching within, training, and making ourselves our best selves. Thanks again for joining us. I hope you liked the video. Be sure to drop a like and a comment. Tell us what other superpowers you think are kind of weird and how you would make them into a really cool superhero. Also, be sure to join us again on Friday during our gaming channel. This week it's going to be me showing you how to make Disney's Elsa in Skyrim Special Edition. Yeah, it's going to be weird. Well, welcome to the kingdom.